Church.
Make sure you like us on Facebook.
Detroit, you need to be made aware. Welcome to Practicing Self-Awareness with hosts Robert Chacon and Jose Villegas.
Good afternoon, Detroit. This is none other than Mr. Robert Chacon. And you're joining me today on Practicing Self-Awareness, the Practicing Self-Awareness show right here on AM 1340 WCHB. I'm joined by my host, Mr. Jose Villegas. How you doing, Mr. V?
I'm good, Zerv. How are you, brother?
Man, I am doing so great. We just had some interesting conversation leading in to our broadcast. And, man, I'm excited because I'm on the line with you. Actually, it was like the light bulb, like the on air sign just came on. And I all of a sudden just got excited when I opened up the show and introduced you. So it's working. It's working, man.
But it always works, Zerv.
Okay.
We just didn't know how to work it.
Okay.
You know, I was listening to my wife. Last night we had the beep of the fire alarm. We thought it was the fire alarm. You know, you need to change the batteries, right?
Right.
And we searched the whole house and couldn't figure out which one. And something said, "Look under the table." It was this carbon dioxide alert, right? For when you got that carbon dioxide in your house.
Right.
But where they installed it was low, almost to the floor, next to the hot water heater, right?
Okay.
But that was a moment to teach. I said, baby, see, what you got to understand, when you said something said, you really said, God help you.
Wow. That was a powerful teaching moment.
Yeah. She got it, though. See?
Oh, wow.
You said, see, some say, let her know that it ain't something that said it. It was God saying it. But because you call it something said and not God, you're looking for God to be somewhere else. But God is always in our experiences talking directly to us.
Right. And we were just talking about that right before we came on the air. And if the voice in your head is talking about anger, fear, disappointment, all that, that's not the intuitive voice. That's not the voice of God. The voice of God, you'll know it's him because it'll be assuring, it'll be confirming, it'll be all peace and all knowing. And you'll have an inner feeling of relaxation after hearing it. So like we was talking about like we was talking about prior, we was talking about how do people live in all of these contradictions. And it's because we've been sent here to guide you to the right voice inside of you.
Well, like you said, but you got to do enough separation from your mind.
Absolutely.
And you got to do that in the present moment by stop listening to it all the time, right?
Right.
You create the space. You got to. What's your thing now, Zerg? You say you got to create the space. You know
Come on now.
Oh, yeah, Zerg. If you're too close to the mind, you can't hear nothing.
Yeah, you got to create the space. So, oh man, I love that you said that. Oh man, I look, I could just hang out there for about 5, but I know we have to move on with the show. But oh my God, that was so beautiful. Create the space by setting intent. So we're gonna open up the phone lines today, and we're gonna see if we could talk to some people in the audience about getting this message of self-awareness that we're trying to deliver. We want to hear what the people got to say. We're starting off a fresh new year, and we're bringing this fresh new message, practicing self-awareness, because we have to bring something that stick with us after we're not at our meeting or in church or with our therapist or speaking to our confidant. We got to have something with us all day, all night while we live our life that helps us examine and grow in our experiences. So the phone number is 313-837-1340. That's 313-837-1340. And we're going to take some callers, Zerb, because we've been asking some we've been answering some questions that we've been asked over the last couple of weeks, but we're going to see if we can get some people live on. So we got one caller in. Let's take this first caller.
Go ahead.
Okay, how you doing, caller? You're listening to Practicing Self-Awareness show on 1340 AM WCHB.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you. It's the
Hi,
Queen.
good
What's going
afternoon.
on?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing? This is Natasha calling in. I just want to tell you fellas, thank you for being of service to the community and introducing the world, introducing us to this concept of practicing self-awareness. You know, it's a life-saving tool for me. I'm new to it. But I have been implementing it in my life, and I've seen like miraculous results. Oh my God, it makes me want to tear up.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great. That's
Go
great.
ahead now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's highly effective, but it's something that I continue to cultivate. I have to have an intent on a daily basis to practice it in my disturbances. So because it's so easy for my reactive nature to just come out and react.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So many benefits.
Wow, that's great. That's great.
Yes.
We're
Yeah,
glad to
and I
hear
don't
that you're
mind.
practicing self-awareness. Why don't you tell us about one of your practice self-awareness experiences, or you have a
Well,
question,
mhm.
maybe something, anything we can help you with?
Well, I would like to just talk about the benefits just briefly. You know, I've had this struggle like for all of my life. My top weight was like 350 pounds, and I never could get under 200 pounds. You know, in my disturbances, I was always trying to run the food. I was trying to run to the liquor store, the nearest weed dispensary, senseless shopping. You name it, I done searched for it. I needed some relief. But once this concept was introduced to me, I was able to drop down to 148 pounds. Oh my God! I've cultivated better relationships with people. I was just in a Zoom meeting with my job. You know, I got this boss from hell. I was in this Zoom meeting with my job, and you know, some things was being said. And, you know, I was about my reactive nature wanted to come up and go off about it. But you know what? I didn't. I went into self-awareness, and I was able to watch my thoughts. I was listening to my thoughts, and I was able to separate myself from those thoughts and not acting out and possibly getting fired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
God worked it out because I was able to pause. I was able to pause. Yep,
That's some
absolutely.
good stuff
Like
right there.
Yeah, like Brother Jose said, I was able to separate my mind and create a space for God to come in and intervene.
Wow.
Yes.
That's so great.
Thank you.
You know what, Tasha, we so glad to
Mhm.
hear from you. We really, really appreciate that testimony. And that's what it's all
Yes.
about. Because I was identifying, I was on a Zoom meeting this morning, and I just had to, you know, I was becoming disturbed, but I said, these are not my core beliefs. I do not believe this response is me, because I know I'm more than a conqueror. I know I'm greater than whatever I can be aware of, and I just have to have it revealed to me. Like Jose was saying about his wife, when what God revealed, you know, to her, and it just has to be revealed to me. But we have to get into the practice, because anytime we're disturbed, angry, fearful, that's not of God. That's just a bunch of content
Absolutely.
that's been created. That's a reaction that's been handed to us, and we can be so much more. And so we thank you for the insight, and we thank you for working awareness, and we're glad, and hopefully you keep on, and you know you can call the show anytime you like and give us your awareness experiences. And you have anything to add, Jose?
Quickly, Tasha, I'm glad you shared that. You know
Thank
what it
you.
sounds like?
Mhm.
You know what it sounds like? You get into where it's a habit, but you don't have to think about it no more. That's where the magic happens. I'm telling you, when you get to
thank
where you
you.
ain't
Thank
gotta
you.
when you ain't gotta consciously, you automatically just do it. Oh man, I done seen myself get so free from my mind and emotions. So that's what we need to get free from. We're not getting free from the devil.
Wow.
We're getting free from
Wow.
we don't understand that my reaction is not me, but nobody told me that, so I
Right.
assume every time I have a reaction that I got to respond. You see what I'm, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So now, you know,
Absolutely.
and it's a crazy thing. Like 3 days ago, I felt like my mind felt like it wanted to depress me today. I decided I didn't feel like being depressed. So I didn't accept the feelings. I tell you no lie. I just did, and I went on to do everything I was going to normally do, but I raised my energy level and did it with enthusiasm. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
But before Lord, I forgot I was supposed to be depressed. Holy
Thank you, brother.
So
everybody needs this.
yeah.
Time.
So
Yes, thank you.
so we have a tool now,
Thank you, Tasha.
and we thank you.
Okay.
So, all right, thank you, Tasha. We got
Okay, thank you,
callers
fellas.
on the line
Thank
that
you.
want to talk to us.
Okay,
We
have a
appreciate
blessed
you
day.
calling. You have a blessed
Yeah,
day, and we
you
talk
too.
to you later.
You
Thank you.
also, sir.
Okay, we have Daryl on the line. How you doing, Daryl? Hello? Okay, he must have hung up. Okay, so so that was a Go ahead.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Daryl.
You ain't muted or nothing, are you?
I'm sorry. We can't hear you, sir. Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Next caller.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I am doing well. I've got a question
Yes, go ahead.
about self-awareness. Let's see if I can put this into a question form. How would one identify this whole self-awareness? Because I'm listening to you guys, and I'm like, okay, so what is all this self-awareness about? Like, in the short, what could you say to a person who wants to step into, and probably in it more than I realize already, what would you say to a person that wanted to or needed to know, okay, what is this self-awareness stuff all about? He's talking.
So, what I would say, ma'am, is the first thing is to definitely get my book. Because and now the title of my book is called Self-Awareness, and the subtitle says it's the easiest, it's the least you will ever be asked and the most you'll gain from doing it. Because practicing it actually is practicing self-awareness is in itself is very easy. I know everybody's looking for peace and contentment, and but people are looking for this grand ideal. Like I had this joke, I said, if you tell somebody to chant 60 times and climb to the top of Kilimanjaro and sing to the great earths and you'll get free, people, that would make sense to people. Like, oh wow, I'll do all that and get free. But if you tell somebody as simple as pay attention to what you feel, pay attention to the thoughts that come as a result of what you feel, and pay attention to your actions, that's the genesis of setting yourself free. That's when the magic happens. You'd be so surprised at how much happens in our day that we don't pay attention to. If you listen to the show earlier, that's why me and Jay were saying you could live in a total contradiction. Like we had, I told him I was watching a show where a person was out in the streets because they were doing a ministry to help people, help feed people and help do this. But in a whole nother scene, they were talking about how they wanted to destroy a family member from something from the past. See, you can live in that type of contradiction and not even be aware of it. But what I would tell you is to get my book. And I'm not really on here to sell books. We're trying to carry this message of being able to see yourself, create a space that allows the voice of God to come directly to your heart and mind and lead you in a good way. And those are the things we're trying to do with this show. But I would say, I talk about different practices in my book, being aware of the split self, how pain helps us become better and understand self-awareness better, recognizing limitations. So I would say get a book just to be familiar, because trust me, it is very simple to just pay attention to yourself. But if you're not if you're not trained to do it, it's very hard, because we wake up and we get started on our day, and there's so many things that we are missing in our day that are destroying our life, and so many things that we're missing that's there to help us, but we're not on the clue bus because we don't see them. So I'm gonna let Zerby chime in a little bit and see if we can help you get started. Go ahead, Zerb.
Okay,
I'm
okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. Ma'am, go ahead. She's going to say something.
Well, go ahead, Zerb, and we'll have her
I
back.
can't hear.
Okay, here's what it is for me and how I discovered it. The first thing I realized that every time I have an experience, I have an inner reaction to that experience. So I have a thought and a feeling that's reacting to the experience, right? And then I react to the thought and the feeling, not the experience. So I'm really thinking I'm reacting to the experience, but I'm really reacting to a reaction to the experience. You with me so far? See? And so what self-awareness does is, what we practice is slowing me down from reacting to that reaction, right? And eventually I become more aware of how I think and feel. And that, in turn, creates more freedom when I practice it. That's why we say always start with your negative feelings first. Why do we say that? Because negative energy is so intense that it makes you want to react real bad. So say, for instance, if you got kids and you always tell them to do the same thing to where it got to be frustrating now. Practice self-awareness is when you go home sometime, instead of doing the same thing, just see how things play out. Don't say nothing. When they expect you to holler, don't holler. You see what I'm saying? They're like, they expect you to do something. And see, we're starting with the negative first. But then you're going to eventually end up finding out there's even some good things that you thought was good that's holding you back. Like for me, after I start working on my negative side, I realize people pleasing is almost in the negative side for me for the way I do it. Try to make sure I overcare. I care for everybody. Then leave me out. I'm a guy, put my life on the back burner and put yours on the front if you need something. I'm there. But at the end of the day, I feel like when I need something, I can't get it. But that ain't nobody's fault because I'm always giving. And you shouldn't always do something all the time. And so people pleasing was hard to catch because it's tied into being good, right? So for me, though, it was creating a negative part of my life. So when self-awareness really is, what you're practicing is, you practicing going into observation. You slowing yourself down, especially in a negative state. Say you always talk like me. What I'm practicing now is not to talk stuff the way people drive. And because I have accepted this the way people drive, it keeps me from being frustrated when I'm driving. See what I'm saying? I catch myself getting ready to say something. And I said, well, this is just how life is. I got to accept this. I can't change life. I can only change me. See? So that's what self-awareness. You become aware of yourself by realizing what parts of you are not. It's like deduction. You're going to see that I'm not my mind. I'm not in my emotions. You're neither one of them. But you're the one that's experiencing them. And so when you get angry, you start with that. You practice self-awareness by slow. I think because we call it self-awareness that you think you can actually notice yourself, you can't see yourself till you're spiritual. You can't use your five senses on your spirit, but here's the crazy part. Your spirit can use your five senses on the world. So I hope that helped you. If we'll keep it going, if not, let me know. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, and did she leave? Are you still here?
No, yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, so I hope that helped you a little bit, and like I was saying, and like Zerb was saying, and we call each other Zerb because we call it we're observers, and that's a nickname we use for observers. And what I want you to know that's so important is it's kind of like he say, we go from having this life where we always have this intention of, being right, being on time, getting everything done. And we're more of an explorer. Like, every time I go to this situation, I'm kind of frustrated. Let me just go in and pay instead of trying to put my stamp on it. Let me go in and pay more attention to what's going on, especially situations where we're frustrated. And what we're bringing to the world is that inside of these experiences, depending on what we practice, we allow a certain magic in our life, for lack of better words. I call it magic. You can call it the Holy Spirit. You can call it. But what you're doing is you're allowing a stronger version of it to come in your life by what you practice moment to moment. And like I said, I have a book, and my book talks about different self-awareness techniques. And I'd be more than happy to make sure you got a copy. Towards the end of the show, we give all of the information how you can obtain a copy, and I would love for you to get one so you can start practicing self-awareness, because I'm going to tell you, I've practiced it for the last 10 years of my life, and I've just seen a revolutionary just change of my existence, of my being. I'm so at peace. I'm attracting so many things I want into my life, and it's a result of this practice and self-awareness. And so that's why I've been touched to have this radio show, to write a book, because people really have to know how to do this. So thanks for calling in. And did you want to say anything else before you?
I did. For me?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, so can we, from everything that I've heard, so can we conclude that self-awareness is being more aware of your own actions and less judgmental of others?
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely part of what will happen. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But also, here's what I wanted to add, too. It's important to understand that you still going to feel all them other feelings. You just don't stay as long. You know what I'm saying? I still get pissed off sometimes, and I just don't stay as long. I let it go. You know what I mean? Sometimes my kids, my daughters, and my two daughters still do stuff that angers me. I've been telling them for the last one of my daughters, 30 years old, still doing the same stuff. And some say, you got to let life beat her in the head like it beat you. You can't keep telling her, back up. So I've been backing up. And I've been freer now by backing up. But I still feel the need to want to step in and help her. You know what I mean? But I'm starting to notice I'm enabling her. I ain't helping her. But it's dressed up. My mind's telling me I am, though. I know I ain't. But she would change if I was. You see what I mean? So, yeah, we still feel feelings. The key is having enough space.
It's changing your relationship with what you feel, as opposed to saying, oh, this is depressing, or why am I always going through this? It makes a whole world of difference to what you attract to your life when you say, oh, wow, this is great. I'll get to learn something else about myself I didn't know. I'll become closer with God as a result of this experience I'm having. It makes a whole world of difference to the outcome of your day, your month, and your week, and your year. So
what I used to tell you every time you went through something, what I used to always tell you,
that you're going to learn something. I was the guinea pig.
You come back and talk to me. Yeah, you come back and tell me what you went through.
Oh, yeah, trust me. Everything we talked about in this book was hard-won experiences. But God allowed me and Zerb to go through these experiences so we could learn something to bring to people. And I just want to say this also to the young lady before she hangs up. One thing about self-awareness, see, most places we go to get teaching to help us become more freer or better, we have to schedule an appointment and a time. Like if I'm going to see a psychiatrist, I have to, Wednesdays at 4, and I, that's when I go get better. If I'm at an AA or NA meeting, I have to go at 8 p.m. and get in, or, I have to wait for church on Sunday. And what this is doing is this is trying to give you your pulpit, your ministry, your peace, your God experience moment to moment. You can pull it out any moment. You don't have to wait till it's a certain time or a certain experience or a certain, event. You can pull it out at your leisure anytime. So that's why it's so important. In the world we live in today, we got to have something that we can draw on faith, encouragement, and enlightenment moment to moment. Because have you looked around at the world we live in today with the political structure and the diseases and warfare and everything that's going on? You gotta have something that you can pull out. I can't wait till I get to my therapist at 5:00 Thursday to be able to have something to draw on some enlightenment. I need to pull something out right now that will help me. So I hope that helped you. We're going to give out the information about getting the book, and stay tuned and listen. It's a movement, and it's going to be real big, and it's in so many communities, and we're trying to make sure our community is definitely not the last one to get this word on this new way to be free.
All right. Did you have any more questions or comments?
I think that was it. So, yeah, we'll give out the information, and hopefully she'll get the book, because that's the thing we're trying to do, Zerb, is we want to make sure that people are getting this information. And one part you said, I love how you said, that doesn't mean we go through anything, but how we handle what we go through makes the world a difference. Because if like how the earlier caller said, Tasha, if I get upset on my Zoom meeting, at my Zoom meeting at 9:00, and I don't have something to help me release some of that stress or that pain, well, then I got to attract that the whole day to my life. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And so because why? Because you're not going to be sitting up upset and attract a lot of good stuff to your life. What you're going to do is attract more of what you don't like and what you don't want. So it's like I have to find a way to turn the curve, you know.
I like that.
I like.
Well, that's what made this so powerful. And that, for me and you, that's what we said. We actually cutting people's learning curve. We actually giving you the end product.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Zach.
Because when me and you started this, we didn't have nobody in front of us, no mentors, none of that. As a matter of fact, we didn't even know what was going on. We just wanted to stop struggling with our lives. I mean, when I met you, both of us had about 15 years in recovery, but it didn't feel like we was recovering. It felt like we were just clean. Right?
Yeah.
We were just not using drugs, that's all, but we were doing everything else. And so eventually we ended up here, and we created language for it, right? So we used to say we call God the universe or the energy. We used to say, man, the energy said to me. You know, we were doing our own thing. We were saying, man, the energy. And then we found out that it's so important to understand that you spend most of your time in your experiences, right? So don't we need to learn how to live in our experiences?
Yeah, we got to get ready to go, sir. All right.
Go ahead.
So and we may try to call in, get all your calls and your answers together. If you want to join in on this new movement of peace and enlightenment, we might take some calls next week again. If you want to get my book, go to www.rshakan.com. That's www.rshakan.com. Shakan is SHAKHAN. That's SHAKHAN. Also, you can DM me on Instagram at Robinsky5, ROBINSKI5. ROBINSKI5, and we have a self-awareness website. What is it, Zerb? Tell them the self-awareness website. Zerb? Oh, he must be gone. So it's Self-Aware 2021. It's Self-Aware 2021 at gmail.com. That's Self-Aware.
You got it.
Self-Aware 2021 at gmail.com.
No, at yahoo.com.
At Yahoo, I'm sorry. Self-Aware 20.
That's why you were talking. That's why I didn't.
Okay, that's okay. Self-Aware 2021 at yahoo.com. That's Self-Aware 2021 at yahoo.com. Contact us about getting my book, about anything you want to say about the show, and to just get the request number to call in with your questions. We love you, Detroit. We thank you for joining us. Continue to have a great day and stay aware.
You have just been made aware. The Practicing Self-Awareness Show with host Robert Shakan and Jose Villegas.